So hello everybody and welcome back here on the BSN Network here. Part 2 is getting up to starting right now. Part 1 is going up on YouTube right now. We still got a lot of things to talk about. We still have Nets win, Knicks loss, Rangers loss. Who's better, Rosen or Darnold? I already talked about that. Do the Lakers need Lonzo Ball? Will Paul George be with the Thunder at the end of the year? I already talked about that. QB ratings and who will be MVP for the NFL. So we still have a good amount of things to talk about here as we start off part 2 today. Well, today obviously we got already a lot of stuff, but first we're going to talk about Lonzo Ball's stats, and obviously he's out right now at the moment. But anyway, he's out right now, and there's all this talk that do the Lakers need Lonzo Ball? And before I even made this YouTube channel, I used to videotape myself, and I used to put it up on my Google, on a Google Drive. And so yeah, I used to do that, and then I could watch them. But I used to talk about Lonzo Ball all the time and his struggles and things like that. And now all of a sudden it's kind of happening where people are like, do the Lakers need Lonzo Ball? Do they need Lonzo Ball? I'll tell you the truth, I don't think they need Lonzo Ball. I think Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez are two great fits there. You look at, I know Lonzo Ball, I know Lonzo Ball has started to pick up his game a little bit, but still, nothing like a player, nothing that great. And, obviously here, he has not played since the 25th. The last game he played was the 23rd, December 23rd. He played 36 minutes. 10 points, 4 of 13 on the field goals, 2 of 6 on three-pointers, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. So that's what he did in his last game. So obviously there, Then 22nd. I'm going to run through all of his games here that I calculated up and put on my computer. Warriors, 37 minutes, 24 points, 9 of 16 on field goals, 5 of 6 on three-pointers, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 steals, and 1 block. Now we move to the Rockets, 38 minutes. So obviously we can see his minutes have gone up. I'm going to spoil it. Next up is going to be 39 minutes. His minutes has gone up, and I feel like here the Lakers, think they need to have Lonzo Ball in, which is why his minutes have gone up since the beginning of the year. They were playing him so much, and then when he started to struggle, there was all this talk about bench him. I said to bench him. What was he doing in the beginning of the year? What was he doing? He did nothing. And yeah, I know. And trust me, I do. There is kind of this little, he has picked up his game like this much. Still though, 16 points in the NBA is really, really not a great game. It's really not. Some players in the NBA are averaging 29.9 points per game, which is obviously very, very good. Here's Kawhi Leonard for you. He's passed like 3 straight games. He's got over like 25 points. They've started to. I think Lonzo Ball here, a good 16-point game is good for him, but that's not good in real NBA. Like that for an NBA player. For LeBron James, that's an awful game. It showed last night. It's 19 points last night against the Celtics. He did not play his best basketball. 19 points is not good for LeBron. 19 points is good for Lonzo. It's just how much they average. Lonzo's averaging here 10 points. He's averaging 33.9 minutes. At the beginning of the year, which is really sad, this just goes to show you when a player's obviously not doing good. Beginning of the year, he was averaging more assists than he was points. At the beginning of the year, he was averaging 8 assists and he was only averaging 6 points. Obviously, he's pulled up his points a little bit. I understand. But still, do the Lakers need Lonzo Ball? No way. No way. I said it before. Kyle Kuzma and Brook Lopez are doing the job over there. Yes, I know they have lost a lot of these games ever since, but look at their opponents. They played the Thunder, a team that's over 500. They played the Rockets. They played they played the Rockets. They played the Thunder, the Rockets. They played the Timberwolves, and Timberwolves twice. So all of those teams are over 500. All of those teams are over 500. Yeah, all those teams are over 500. So obviously here, that shows to you that, that shows that they're playing harder opponents. So I think here, when Lonzo Ball's back, we'll really see if they need him. Because if they start losing games when he's back, still that means that they don't need him. I really don't know how all this talk came out to be, because in the beginning of the year there was talk like, what the heck, this doesn't make sense. Why is everybody now talking about? Why is everybody now? I'm talking about it because I don't think they need him. But why is everybody now thinking they need him all of a sudden? Why? Beginning of the year, I was listening to one of the shows. They thought they should bench him for a week. Now all of a sudden, they're saying, oh, yeah, they need him. Like, come on. I know he's starting to pick up his game a little bit. I can't take anything away from him from picking up his game. But still, do you really think the Lakers need him? Now, of course, the Lakers do need any really player that can average them a good, solid points a game. Because the Lakers are awful. They're awful. And, the Lakers are really, really, really bad. The Lakers are very bad. They're just awful this year. And Lonzo Ball, they're 11 and 26. They're last in the Western Conference. I think either way, with Lonzo Ball or without Lonzo Ball, you're still going to struggle. So do I think they need Lonzo Ball? No, they can play without Lonzo Ball. I know they lose, but look at their schedule without Lonzo Ball. They had the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Timberwolves. Those 4 teams are over 500. I know there's really tactically 3, but they played the Timberwolves twice. I don't know. I don't know. What did they do in the beginning of the year even with him? They were still on a losing record with him. So do the Lakers need Lonzo Ball? No. I don't think they need Lonzo Ball. All of a sudden, you were thinking about benching him for a week. People thought they should bench him for a week, and now you're turning around and saying, oh, yeah, Lakers need Lonzo Ball. It does not make sense to me, because he's not doing anything. 10 points is not good. Averaging 10 points is not good. I'm telling you that. Yes, I know it's good for Lonzo Ball, but that's not good for any other NBA player. That's just awful. Kyle Kuzma has pretty much carried this team. He has carried this team. He really has. So to come back and say you need Lonzo Ball makes 0 sense to me. That's just ridiculous. You do not need Lonzo Ball. With him or without him, you're not going to win games. They're 11 and 26. Their playoff hopes are pretty much done. And now you're saying you need Lonzo Ball. Makes no sense. I know to have the extra player on your lineup who can give you 10 points will be better, but with him, they lose so much. What did he do in the beginning of the year? His assists were higher than his average of points, which is just sad. Come on. At the beginning of the year, he was scared to shoot the ball. When he shot the ball, he'd miss. Come on. Be real here, please. Don't even turn around and say that they need Lonzo Ball. That's just ridiculous. They don't need Lonzo Ball. can live without him. Yeah, I know they're on this big losing streak without him. I know they are. Trust me, I know they are. They're 1-9. They're on a losing streak of 8. I know. 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's been out for 6 of those 8 games. But in that 8-game losing streak, they've been playing tough teams. So that doesn't always mean. I mean, that kind of means that that does mean that with or without him, they're still going to lose. I don't know. It's people now think Lonzo Ball is all. And yeah, this is why a lot of people don't like college sports. Some people don't like college sports because it's a whole different game in college. It's a whole different game in college. Football, it's much slower. Basketball, it's slower. It's just a whole different game in college. You don't see NBA players playing 20-minute quarters. You don't see after a first down the clock stopping. You don't see that. That's why a lot of people don't like college. That's why. Because it's just a totally different. Even if somebody's really good. Like let's for instance, look at for Lonzo Ball. I mean, look at him in UCLA. Now look at him. I mean, it's just a faster paced game in the NBA, a lot more skill. And everybody in the beginning of the year, I can't take it away from him. Look at the Summer League. Everybody was like, oh my God, averaging a triple-double. It's the Summer League. It's the Summer League. 90% of those players who are in that Summer League don't even play in the regular season. It's the Summer League. 90% of the starters, it's all the rookies who they want to see what they can do. It's the Summer League. I don't know. I just think to turn around and think that the Lakers need Lonzo Ball is just pathetic. They don't need him. They're going to lose with him or lose without him. So what's the point? Yeah. Yes, he's going to be coming back. Yes, they're obviously going to put him in the starting lineup. I think anything, they should put him in the second. They shouldn't put him in the starting lineup. He hasn't, I don't know. When we come back, we're going to talk about will Paul George be with the Thunder by the end of the season? When we come back on BSN Network. So we're back here up on the BSN Network here. So now we're going to talk about will Paul George be with the Thunder next year. There's all this hype around the league and there's all this hype about what's going to happen with Paul George. Beginning of the year, there was talk when they were doing awful, the Thunder. Now they picked it up to 21-17, 4 games over 500. But there was beginning of the year, there was talk about him leaving by the All-Star break, and it kind of slowed down a little bit, and then it's starting to pick back up. And I don't really know what's all about it, like why. They call them the OK3, I guess, but to tell you the truth, Russell Westbrook, I feel like, kind of needs Paul George. Russell Westbrook, it's almost like Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook is not like a LeBron James. And I wish that I had this YouTube channel like 3 months ago back, because I remember 3 months ago talking about this when there was really all this hype about him possibly even before the All-Star break being gone out of the, because it was just weird why. But I wish I had this YouTube channel back then because I've talked all about this. Russell Westbrook is not like LeBron James. LeBron James could go to like a Brooklyn Nets. They could be possibly next year. They could have he'll make him to the NBA Finals team. Russell Westbrook's not like that. Look, Kevin Durant, once he left the Thunder, they haven't even made it back to the finals. 1, 2, he's just not the player like LeBron. LeBron can go to a team the worst team. He could go to the Lakers, for instance, 11-26 Lakers. He could go to them, they'll be good. He could go to them, they'll be good. He could go to the Hawks right now. Worst team in the NBA, the Hawks. They're 10-27. He could go to the Hawks right now. They're 10-27. And he would make them by the end of the year, maybe, I don't know, like 30 and something. He could go to the Hawks next year, turn him into a team that can win it. Russell Westbrook's not like that. Russell Westbrook needs help. Russell Westbrook's not like a LeBron James where he can go to a team, transform him into a championship team, and win it all. He's not like that. He needs help. Ever since Durant's left, the Thunder haven't looked like the Thunder. And, he needs help. So if Carmelo and Paul are out of there again, they're not going to... And I understand, this year they haven't looked good at all, but Russell Westbrook needs the help. That Thunder team really isn't that good. Besides Westbrook and Adams, they're not really all that. They really aren't. They're more of just, Westbrook first off. I mean, he's not having the years having last year anyway. He's not averaging a triple-double, and I understand it's hard to average a triple-double, but last year, I mean, what a year. Can't take anything away from him. But ever since Durant's left, they haven't done that. They haven't done like that well. And now here you're saying that you're going to give away Paul George. Now, of course, Paul George and Carmelo Anthony haven't done really that much with the Thunder. I mean, I know they're 4 games above 500, but you look at the beginning of the year. There was chances Paul George was out of there by like the second week of the season. That's how much everybody wanted him out of there. So let's run through Paul George's stats. Wrote down. We're going to start off with the 16th of December. We're going to run all the way through. That's Everson. He had 37 minutes against the Knicks, 18 points, 6 of 14 on field goals, 4 of 7 on three-point, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 assists, 1 block. No, 2 steals, 1 block. Against the Nuggets, 39 minutes, 8 points, 3 of 13 of field goal, 1 of 6 three-point, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Against the Jazz, 30 minutes, 18 points, 5 of 12 field goal, 2 of 6 on three-pointers, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. So obviously here you can kind of tell. I'm just going to say here, 36.9 minutes he's averaging. He's averaging 20.7 points per game, 42.7 on field goal, 43 3-point. 43, that blows me away on the 3-point. That's very good. 5 of 4 of rebound, 3 assists, average 2.5 steals, and 0.7 blocks. So obviously here you can tell he's not like a double-double or a triple-double guy. He'll get you like 20 points. He'll get you 20 or more points. Obviously averaging 20.7 points isn't the best, but still, when you can get out of there, I mean, Lonzo Ball here, he's averaging an extra 10.7 points than what Lonzo Ball is averaging. But here, I'm just going to say this. I mean, Paul George, I think, Russell Westbrook, they need him. And even if you give away Paul George, at least keep Carmelo Anthony. If anything, I would first give away Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony hasn't had the year of... He really hasn't. I would give away Carmelo Anthony before you give away Paul. And I know Paul's contract's very big. I know that. And if he's not putting up the points that they want him to put up, if he's not doing the work that they want, obviously you're probably going to want to drop him. But here, if you drop him and Carmelo, you're going to make this team again just Russell Westbrook, and he cannot control a team where it's just him. He's not like a LeBron James. I cannot stress even more. He's not a LeBron James. LeBron James can go to the Brooklyn Nets, and he could transform that team into a finals team. That's what he did to the Cavs. Cavs were awful before LeBron there. Despite having Kyrie, still they were awful. Came there, made that team finals team. Might do it again this year. Ever since Durant left, Durant's one of those players. Look at Durant. Went to the Warriors that year. They won the finals. His first year. he did, I have to admit. Sorry, all Curry fans out there, but yeah, he kind of did carry him. Curry wasn't the player last year of the. He wasn't the player there. Warriors. It was all Durant. So his high against the 31st against the Mavericks, he had 25 points, and at the Lakers, 24 points. So let me just run through his last games. 18 points, 8 points, 18 points, 17 points, 26 points, 24 points, 33 points, 0 points. He didn't play that game. 25 points and 24 points. So it looks like here even comes some in the teens, some in the 20s. I really think here though that the Thunder should keep Paul. And if you want to know why, I know he's not contributing like they would like him to. And I know his contract's big, but if you keep Carmelo there, and it's just Carmelo and Westbrook, that team's not going to this team's not taking any bigger step. It's taking a step back, really. Paul George, there's a chance he will be gone by the All-Star break. There's a chance. It was at the beginning of the year. There's not so much hype about it, but there's a chance. Let me read through his Wikipedia for you. Let me just read through his career highlights and awards. I wrote this down on my Kindle. On my Chromebook. Wrote all of this stuff down before my show. Career highlights and awards. He's a 4-time NBA All-Star, 3-time All-NBA third team, NBA All-Defensive first team, 2-time NBA All-Defensive second team, NBA Most Improved Player, NBA All-Rookie second team. This is a guy who is he's been in the league this is his 7th or 8th year in the league since his 2018. He has definitely proved himself. He has not done that bad with the Warriors. Obviously, he's not put up the points that they would like him to put up, but still, he's a good player. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the Nets, the Knicks, and the Rangers' loss. When we come back on the BSN Network. So we're back here on the BSN Network. So I'm just going to run through this here. We might have a part 3. There's 7 minutes left on my stopwatch until we have to end this. So here we go. So the Nets win last night, 98-97. They moved to 12. They moved to 15-23 on the year. 15-23 on the year. They're 14 and a half games behind. They're 8-12 in the conference. They're 0-5 in the division. 9-10 home, 6-13 away, 4-6 in the last 10, and they're on a win streak of 2. They play tomorrow away. They play tomorrow home against the Celtics at 6 p.m. Tomorrow on Saturday, 6 p. They play Saturday 6 p.m. against the Celtics. They won last night. Big game for them. Now we move to the Knicks here. The Knicks and L. The Knicks lose 121-103. They play tomorrow against the Heat at 8 p.m. They're away for that game. They lose 121-103. They move to 10th in the Eastern Conference. They're 18-20 on the year. They're 11 and a half games behind. They're 9-14 in the conference, 4-3 in the division, 15-7 on home, 3-13 on away, 3-7 in the last 10 on their losing streak of 2. They were spoiled of home games there, and they're awful on their road. They are awful on the road. And as for the Rangers here, the Rangers here lose 5-2 against the Blackhawks. They moved to 21-4-14-5 on the year. Couldn't get past their young goaltender Glass on the other side. They play next game Saturday 8 p.m. against the Coyotes. They are away. They are 40 games played, 21, 14, and 5 on the year. Points, 47. We're 6 points behind. 111 difference. Oops, that. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10, and they're on a losing streak of 1. They play again away against the Coyotes, 8 p.m. on Saturday. Thank you for listening to the game highlights. We'll be back after this on your BSN Network. So we are back here on the BSN Network. So we have 4 minutes left here on this part 2. We're going to run through who we think will be MVP here for the NFL. There's a lot of candidates for this. Obviously here, there's all this talk about possibly Carson Wentz being the MVP. Todd Gurley being the MVP. And also, I'm going to talk about Carson Wentz more. And I'm not saying Todd Gurley shouldn't be. I think Todd Gurley should be the MVP. But I'm just going to run through the quarterback situation here. So here we come. So, there's all this talk here about Tom Brady being the MVP. And I'm not saying he hasn't done well this year. But I've seen better years out of him. I really have. I've seen better years out of him than this year. I really feel like this year I feel like here, let me just pull all my stuff up. I feel like here, Carson Wentz could be even though, despite the injury, I still feel like he could be an MVP candidate. Fun fact for you. By the way, the Nets here, I forgot to share this. The Nets are 8th in the league. They're 106.9 per game. Back to this. So, here, listen to this. The last time, they were 11-2. Joe Montana, 11-2. When he went out, his MVP season, when he left because he got injured, he was 11-2 at the record. When did Carson Wentz get injured? 11-2. They almost have the same stats as both. They both almost have like the same stats in common. Let me run through Carson Wentz's stats here. Just run through Carson Wentz's stats. He has every game that he's played this year. I'm just gonna run through. 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown. 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 4 touchdowns. In the regular season, he has a total of 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 101.9 rating, 60.2 completion, and 3,296 total yards. Career stats. He has a 61.5 completion percentage, 7,078 yards, 49 touchdowns, interceptions 21, and he has 88.8 of his rating. So that to me is an MVP type caliber quarterback. Now, I know he got injured. But if you look back at Joe Montana, it's still a possibility he wins the MVP. He can win it. There's this chance that he wins the MVP still. And I tell you why. Because the numbers that he put up when he was playing are out of the roof. 7 interceptions? You kidding me? Look, 1 interception, 0 interceptions, 0 interceptions, 1 interception, 0 interceptions, 1 interception, 1 interception. There was a time where he had 3 straight games without an interception and 2 interceptions at the end. I mean, he has really taking quarterbacking by a next level this year. The next level. And why I think he could. Now, I really think it's going to be Todd Gurley. I really do. I just think Todd Gurley has a chance. Sorry, I bounced up and down there. I was like, because the timer went off in my ear and I wasn't expecting it. I really think that Todd Gurley is probably going to win it. But Carson Wentz, if it's somehow they do win it, I say Carson Wentz should win it. If Todd Gurley doesn't win it, it should be Carson Wentz. Because you look at his numbers and you look at the change from 2016. Look at 2016 at 62.4 completion percentage, 3,782 yards, 16 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 79.3 rating. This year he has 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 14 interceptions last year. He had 16. He was only two touchdowns above his 14 interceptions, which is very bad. Now he did do okay last year. He did have a few things that were better than this year, but still a huge turnaround from last year. Now let's look at Tom Brady's stats. Tom Brady, and obviously his career is going to blow us away. He has 8 interceptions this year. Let's read it. He has 3 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. 32 total touchdowns. Carson Wentz this year has 33. I feel like Tom Brady this year has not had his best year. And I feel like a lot of people think he has. He has 8 interceptions. How much does Carson Wentz have? 7. Alright. That's not usual out of Tom Brady to have 8 interceptions. Okay, his career. He has 66,159 yards, 488 touchdowns, 160 interceptions, 97.6 rating. Obviously, his career blows us away. His career is way better than Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz played 2 years, 1 3/4 because he got injured. So obviously, his career blows us away. But this year, the one game, Let's read his stats. 2017, he has 4,000. He has a 66.3 completion percentage, which Carson Wentz has a 60.2. 4,577 yards. Carson Wentz has 3,296. So he beats him in 2 of those categories. 32 touchdowns. Carson Wentz beats him there with 33. 8 interception. Carson Wentz beats him there with 7. 102.8 rating, and Carson Wentz is 100.9. So he beats him there as well. But I feel like Carson Wentz here is having a little bit better of a season than Tom Brady. I'm not saying Tom Brady's not doing well this year, but I feel like Carson Wentz, if he stayed healthy, he could have way more touchdowns because he missed 2 games, way more touchdowns. I know 2 games might seem like it's just 2 games. 2 games, you could score. You could get 8 touchdowns really in 2 games. If you think about it, 4 touchdowns in each game. He had 4 touchdowns in 3 games this year, 5 games this year. So, obviously he could do it. I know it's a little rare, but still, he could do it. This is this guy who's coming out of North Dakota State University. I was watching the Rich Eisen show on YouTube the one day, and they were taking stock. They were buying stock on a quarterback. Jared Goff or Carson Wentz. He picked Jared Goff, and I'm saying Jared Goff's also another candidate possibly. He picked Jared Goff. Rich Eisen. He said Carson Wentz can't throw his body around like that. I totally agree with him, but I feel like Carson Wentz here is just, I don't even know why I brought that up, but I don't agree with him there. I agree with the part where if he's throwing his body around. Carson Wentz, that's the one thing about Carson Wentz. He can't throw his body around. You saw what happened this year, that's why he's going to get killed. He's not built like Cam. Alright, when we come back, we're going to wrap up this BSN Network show today. So we are back here up on the BSN Network. Hope you enjoyed it. Part 1 is already, I think, up on YouTube right now. Part 2 will be coming up shortly, probably around like 8 o'clock. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was definitely long. I think like an hour and 4, 5, maybe 9, 8 minutes. But hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed both parts today. I will see you everybody tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about, and then we'll talk about possibly here. Depending on what I'm going to talk about, also I'm going to do my scores, see who wins and why for the playoff. And then I'll do my playoff predictions. I'll tell you really who I think is going to win it all this year for the AFC and the NFC. I'm not going to say who I think is going to get knocked down in the rounds. I'm just going to think. So thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, I hope you liked it. Comment down below if you have any questions about these topics, and ask me if you want me to talk about a certain topic. I'll do research on it, and I'll write it on my computer, and I'll put it all up for you. So that's what I do. That's what I do for my YouTube channel. I research. If I don't know a lot about it, I'll research it. Like basketball, for basketball, I don't know too much about the Thunder or things like that because I don't watch them a lot. I research it. I find out what's going on. Then I'll watch a few games and see what's going on, and then I'll talk about it. So thank you for watching. If you want me to talk about something, you can always comment, tell me. I'll research it. I'll be talking about it hopefully tomorrow or one of these days when I get a chance to talk about it, because you know me, I have a lot to talk about. So thank you for watching today. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.